What is up, everyone? Welcome back to 90 in Ontario, our weekly League 1 Ontario recap series where we go over the past weekend's games, preview the upcoming week, update on any developing news, and bring you interviews and content for our teams and players. Week 3 is in the books, and in the Championship and Premier Divisions, the standings are starting to materialize, and we are seeing who the front runners are and who may need to step up their game. But enough from me. Let's send it over to Jackson and Dexter for the Game of the Week recaps. Okay.
London hosting Vaughn, and it's the home side asserting dominance. First opportunity hits the post. Few moments later, another chance amounts. Beautiful through ball. Goalkeeper Alessio Carbone stumbles, but still manages to keep it out. He was on fire from the get-go. Another great save early on. London all over Vaughn in the first 10 minutes until the script flips.
Baquero down the left side, crossed in, and now Vaughn back the other way. Robinson, and just like that, Ryan Robinson, Robbo makes
a peach of a ball, an even better touch, and right in the corner for the finish. Ryan Robinson bags his third of the season. Just like that, the tables have turned and trouble awaits. Ball given away carelessly. Give and go from Raheem Rose. Finds Ethan Beckford out wide, who's tackled right inside the box. Penalty given, and Beckford rewarded to take it.
Pelagia saved a couple penalties last season. Does he have it in him? And he does! Pelagia outstanding!
Pelagia with a big stop to deny Beckford, but just when London salvaged their sorrows, deja vu occurs. Another giveaway in their own half. Bradley Heath tries to recover, but it deflects off his hand. Referee calls another penalty for Vaughn. Heath can't believe it. A second look shows a faint touch. This time it's Andy Baquero.
And then, oh my goodness. Oh, that was splendid. Baquero.
Cheeky chips and salsa on that one. Vaughn up 2. Right before the half, London trying to catch Vaughn off guard. The low cross finds the foot of Dupuis, but it's wide. Fast forward to the 80th minute, have a crack. What a save from Carbone. London unable to break the deadlock all game. Carbone climbing where mama hides the cookies, keeping the clean sheet and sealing the 2-0 victory for Vaughn.
How's it going, guys? Dexter Abrams here, and this week I'll be presenting you the highlights from the match of the week on the women's side, North Toronto versus North Mississauga. Prior to the game, Adrian, one of the coaches from North Mississauga, was asked what are his keys to the game, and this was his response.
I think it comes down to, there's no secret sauce, right? Hard work, discipline, and I think following a tactical plan.
Awesome.
We've had a great week of preparation, so I think as long as we stick to it, and things move with us today, I think we'll have success.
So North Mississauga wants to rely on their hard work and discipline to give them their first win of the season. Now let's take a listen to Mark, one of the coaches from North Toronto, who was asked, how important is it to build momentum early in the season? Take a listen.
I think it is important, but I think for a lot of clubs on the women's division, we're still waiting for a number of players to come home. So I don't think it sets the tone for the entire season, but would I love to be on 7 points after today's game? Absolutely. And I think it's just about the players just getting used to their roles and responsibilities, and it's just that picks up momentum. So as long as nothing changes from game to game, I think that will build momentum, and yeah, so excited.
North Toronto started off this game strong and fast. When just 5 minutes into the game, Trinity Esfrit showed her range, striking the ball from just inside the 18, having the keeper at full stretch, scoring her first of 2 goals of the game, helping North Toronto to a comfortable 6-0 win. Let's check out the barrage of goals and the beautiful build-ups that led to them.
There's a shot in by the Nitros, and it's a goal! A beautiful shot by what seems to be Trinity Esprit from the once more on the right side. She's undefended. Here she comes into the goal area, gets by the defender, and it's off the post, and it's in the net. An own goal by was not entertaining. Sent in by Walker. Weird pass, finds, oh my god, and it's in the back of the net. A cross in by Walker. Fine. Here's the cross. Far to the other end of the penalty area. The quick taps in a fury of feet, and there it is in the back of the net. Jesse DeBoer finds Mesh deep into the box, tries to find the head. It does find North Toronto, and that is a goal. Abreu finds a spree on the far side in the penalty area. She crosses it in, nearly misses. There's Lauren Rowe, and it's a goal.
Thank you to our socials team for making the highlights, and to cap it off, let's go over the rest of the games. Starting things off in the men's Premier Division, as we heard in our match of the week, Vaughn saw past FC London in a 2-0 win. Sunday saw matches played which started off with Oakville SC going up 3-0 against St. Catharines Roma before they knocked one back in the 67th minute, seeing the game end 3-1. Simcoe County Rovers and Woodbridge went head-to-head, which saw Simcoe leading 1-0 until the 96th minute, where Woodbridge scored a penalty and ultimately sharing the points. North Toronto and Alliance United decided to follow suit, where Alliance scored in the 76th, only to be drawn level in the 97th minute via a penalty, one-upping Woodbridge by a minute. On the same day, Burlington earned their first win, seeing past Sigma 4-0 with 4 different goal scorers. In the men's championship division, multiple teams continued their unbeaten run as we see several teams joint top of the league. Whitby continued their hot start with a 4-1 win over Waterloo. North Mississauga kept level as they tied Masters FA at home 1-1. Now, this game counted as both a league and cup match since their previous cup match was abandoned. So with the tie counting towards the league, the game also went to penalties to see who would go to the next round, which saw North Miss prevail and move on. The third team sharing top spot are the Sudbury Cyclones, who tied Guelph United 2-2 at home. We saw another 1-1 draw between Pickering and Hamilton. The Borough got past Windsor City 2-1, and finally, Unionville drew 2-2 to newcomers York United Academy. Heading over to the Women's Premier Division, Waterloo United picked up their first win of the season against Woodbridge, having a brace scored by Marissa Oliveira. North Toronto went to the top of the division, beating North Mississauga 6-0, which also, due to Simcoe County picking up a shocking win over league favorites and last year's champs NDC 2-0. FC London and Alliance played to a 0-0 draw, and Vaughn held home ground with a 2-0 win over Guelph United. With all the results in, only 1 point separates first from fourth, which promises a tight race for the rest of the season. Finishing off with the Women's Championship, Tecumseh United headed top of the table, picking up a 2-1 away win against Rush Academy. Pickering and Unionville played to a 1-1 draw, and the last game followed the same score between Oakville SC and Whitby. With all the scores wrapped up, our feature of the week interview is with newcomers Sudbury Cyclones. Our very own Aaz Sheikh sits down with Evan Phillips, breaking down the club's ambitions, community engagement, and development pathway for local players. So without further delay, let's head over to Aaz.
Hi, folks, and welcome to our League 2 feature on the Sudbury Cyclones. I've got Evan Phillips. Now, Evan wears a few hats. He's the technical director, assistant coach for the first team, and he gets involved in player recruitment as well. And we're going to be talking a bit about the club's ambition, development pathway, connection to the community, and just a few more things as well. So, Evan, thanks for joining us first off.
Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. So, Sudbury Cyclones, you are new to League 2 Ontario, and I believe this is your U23 squad. But of course, it's part of a much bigger football project. How do you describe what the Cyclones represent as an organization?
Yeah, we're really big on giving opportunities to Northern Ontario for our players and for the community as well. It's really important that we were able to first get into League1 as a whole, to really kind of try and complete the pathway from our grassroots and our competitive youth to now having high performance semi-professional football in the city. So it's been a really great privilege to be a part of it from the ground up, and we're very excited about the future.
Now, we'll be back with you one time to talk about League 1 for sure, but focusing on the U23, the League 2 squad, are you focused more on winning or player development and progression with this team?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think we want to make sure that first off, we're a competitive group and putting the best, U23 group out there as we can, but also it's about bridging, like I kind of said already, the youth competitive and giving them that next landing spot, which is, the U23 group. And I think it's a really great aspect we have right now. So, we have, I think, 7-8 local Sudbury kids on the U23 team, maybe even more off the top of my head. And then also at the same time, we have a very good connection with the universities in Northern Ontario. So that's where the team's kind of made up from. And it's really great to see like the players coming here, getting the opportunity to thrive and succeed in a really highly competitive environment, but then also, getting those opportunities that they may not be getting elsewhere that they can get here, and they don't have to travel as far. Northern Ontario is vast on a good day. So to have it here in our backyard is perfect for us.
Super cool that the local talent is going to be there as well. I'm sure Sudbury fans are going to be really excited about that. So from a coaching perspective, what kind of football, what kind of soccer can we expect from this League 2 side? Any particular style you folks are trying to establish?
Well, Dylan Bruce, our new head coach for the L2 team, he's doing a great job right now. They're kind of building it out as we go, but I think we believe at least we have a great attacking squad. Some really good youth from Sudbury, and then some players who were brought in from Sam Howard, who's from Goderich. He was with BVB last year. We have some other players. Yusuf Hamid, he was at Burlington in L2 last year. There's a number of really good players that we have that I think will start to score and play some pretty good football. I think we're still in that developmental phase where we're getting to find out where everyone is and how we're going to really get there. But from a whole holistic perspective, we're looking to be a very good transition squad, and how we can really focus on our attack while being defensively responsible as well.
So is the expectation of the League 2 group of players to really put some pressure on the League 1 team and, really be trying to progress into that squad?
100%. So myself and Giuseppe Politti, who run the first team, we've got our eyes on the L2 team as much as possible. There's a lot of crossover in the training, in the sense of that we have training at the same time, so that we're able to scrimmage and do other things like that. So it's a really good environment for the players, and there is a lot of crossover. I think right now we have two healthy squads and numbers of players available, but like anything with the busyness of the summer and how quick the season is, there will be crossover for sure. And
last question, what would you like to say to the Sudbury community as they get ready to see Cyclones L1, League 2 team, and the women's team as well in action?
I think you just get your foot in the door. We want to get you out here. I think we've had a great first few weeks of games in the community and well attendance across the three teams. I know on Sunday when we had our L2 home opener, I think we had 220 people in the crowd, and I think we want to only see those numbers go, and that's just for the reserve team. So we're really excited about where everything's going with soccer in the community on the men's and the women's side. I think the women's side are really, when they start hitting their stride and having good weather for our games, we're going to start to see a real big community output, and we're very excited for it.
Evan, thanks for your time today. We got to get you back on for some more features, but for today, this was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it and love the content.
Okay, thank you very much to both Aaz and Evan. It is an absolute delight to see the game of soccer growing, especially in a town like Sudbury, and seeing locals such as Evan invest in the sport and giving a pathway to players in the city that may have not been there previously. Now, before heading to our upcoming matches of the week, if you are liking the content, please consider subscribing, drop a like, and turn on the bell notifications to stay up to date with everything League 1 Ontario. Our first game of the week sees our very own Nicholas Fiore preview the women's matchup between Woodbridge Strikers and Simcoe County Rovers.
Welcome back, everybody. This week's match of the week preview is in the League 1 Ontario Women's Premier Division, and it's the Simcoe County Rovers coming into town to take on the Woodbridge Strikers, Vaughn Grove Stadium, this Saturday, May 10th, 7 p.m. kickoff. Simcoe's had a pretty decent start to the season, defeating FC London 2-1, defeating NDC Ontario, the reigning champs and two-time champs in the last three campaigns, 2-0, and a defeat to a very tough North Toronto side, 2-1. Meanwhile, Woodbridge had a good start to the season in the Vaughn Derby, defeating the Vaughn Azzurri 2-0, but then defeats to Guelph 4-2, where they were up 2-0 in that match a couple weeks back, and then losing to the newly promoted team in Waterloo 2-1 last time out. So Woodbridge not too much in form right now. 3 points, sitting in 8th place in the table. Obviously only 3 weeks into the 2025 campaign. Meanwhile, Simcoe, though, are up in 2nd place in the table. The teams are a little bit different this year for both sides. You have Woodbridge, who, as mentioned in the Week 1 show, that they're young. And a lot of them are inexperienced. And also now they're facing some injuries to some key players as well. When you don't have a roster that's playing game in and game out, week in and week out, sometimes it can play with the skill on the pitch. Sometimes it might not go your way because the consistency and the collective gel and unit is not there. That's where Woodbridge is finding right now, that they're getting a lot of young players more minutes. And, one young player in Ava Vilpadano did score last time out against Waterloo. Now, obviously, you want those players to be effective coming in, but right now it's the next gen movement for Woodbridge. Meanwhile, for the Simcoe County Rovers, every time you beat NDC Ontario, it's pretty impressive no matter which way you put it. They've been an absolute juggernaut since coming into the league. I want to say 3 years back now, and they've won 2 of the last 3 campaigns with Alliance getting in, sandwiching that one in the middle and winning 2 years back. So for Simcoe to defeat NDC Ontario 2-0 is impressive, especially coming off a defeat to North Toronto 2-1. North Toronto's a good side. We just saw them handle North Mississauga fairly easy, let's just say, in a 6-0 fashion last weekend. So for Simcoe, they want to come in, they want to start on the front foot against a Woodbridge side who might be laboring a little bit, but also in another movement in the next gen, and they're trying to figure out in the early offset. Woodbridge definitely have the potential of getting the job done, can simply get the 3 points if they really put their foot on the gas pedal and they can't come off of it. They got to rely on April Syme, Ida Michelli, Jada Hilton-Palea, and if Sam Murphy is in, and get them really going. Meanwhile, for Simcoe, they got to rely on, Riley Trikoff and company in order to get the job done. More of a veteran presence for Simcoe and more of a next-gen youngster side with some experience, though, as well for Woodbridge. Should be a good battle. Live on Spydio, we'll have the live stream as well. I'll be on the call. Nicholas Fiore, League 1 Ontario broadcaster, Simcoe, Woodbridge, 7 p.m., Saturday, May 10th, at the Grove in the Bridge. Don't you dare miss it. It should be a good one. Until next time, ciao.
Thank you, Nick, for getting us hyped up for the match of the week, and good luck to both teams. For the men's match of the week, Waterloo United will be hosting North Mississauga Soccer Club this Friday, May 9th, 7:30 p.m. in Waterloo's Rim Park Stadium. Now, North Mississauga is enjoying a stellar start to the season, going undefeated in 3, advancing to the second round of the League 1 Cup, having a 2-0-1 record with 7 points and keeping on par with Whitby and Sudbury for top spot in the men's championship division. With an impressive start, they've only conceded 1 goal, and more impressively, North Miss did not concede a shot on net until the 3rd game. And what's even more impressive is that they boast an extremely young core of U20 players, both on the bench and in the starting 11. The likes of Nathan Hendricks, Julian Schrock, and Thomas Kapuscinski, all being U19 players, promises North Miss a bright future and shows their commitment to developing the next generation of players, both provincially and nationally. Waterloo is on the other side of the table without a win and still looking for their first point. Thankfully, it's still early with a lot of game to play, and a win here could very much get their season rolling. Their first 3 games, one being a cup game, were very tight, only losing by 1 goal each, and head coach Michael Marcochia will be positive. Good results will be coming. Now, last year's results saw North Miss go on the road to Rim Park and pick up a 2-0 win, and then hosting formerly BVB Waterloo to a 1-1 draw. Waterloo will definitely be looking to right their wrong from last season, so the match of the week will be promising some high-quality League 1 action. With that being said, that is all we have for this week. If you've enjoyed the video, leave a like, let us know in the comments who's been your favorite team so far, and please consider subscribing to get the latest match highlights. We'll see you pitch side.